Meeting of Thursday, September 14th, 2023. We have a quorum present tonight, so the next item on the agenda would be the minutes. Anybody have any question on the minutes? Any comments on the minutes? Okay. Bills.
Okay, bills, I can provide a summary, Madam President. We have some outstanding bills related to the confluence with Stantec Consulting. I will point out that the notation says project closeout, which is great to see here. So there'll be a few more bills coming from Stantec as they put together the environmental covenants for the site. This is basically needs to be recorded within the property for financial purposes and real estate. And then we had a facade improvement grant payout for Beth Warner, some other items related to sale of property, which would be reimbursable in a legal standpoint, some conference expenses and Maker's Market. So that details the bills this month.
Okay. Anybody got a question for John on the bills? All right. We can move on to the business portion of our agenda. Item A is Resolution 2023-12, authorize the 2024 Economic Development Levy.
Okay. Thank you, Madam President. What we're asking for tonight is to authorize a 0.0185% levy, which is the maximum levy that we by state law can amount we can levy for taxes on our HRA levy for 2024. What does this mean in English? We would be raising about $510,000 in revenue from this for HEDRA purposes. So HEDRA is financed from the levy itself, also through general fund revenue as well. So on your tax statement, there is a separate line item for this levy. This requires both HEDRA and City Council action to authorize a levy. The Council's looking to do this at their meeting next Monday. So along with this, I did put a snapshot in of the budget as we requested and where it sits today. On outstanding programs that we've had in the past going forward would be the Facade Improvement Grant Program, Evolving Loan Fund, Downtown Environmental Cleanup, Business Incubator, annexation out on the west end of the city, and then the Community Development Intern. The redevelopment capital allocation, we put some money in there, a request for about $500,000 earlier. We're still trying to determine what might be left of the budget on that. There might be a situation where there might not be anything within the budget for next year on that. We may be looking at other sources for acquisition, and there's a few other things that we can look at. So I wanted to bring that to your attention, that that's an item that we're unsure about as far as what the capital might be coming forward for next year, but we are researching other potential for grants and other funding, which may allow us to continue with acquisitions of property. So the action before you tonight is the adoption of the resolution to approve the proposed 2024 HRA tax levy. So I can stand for any questions.
Any questions?
I have one.
Yeah. Commissioner John?
So given that we don't know exactly what projects come up, if we request these funds and we don't have active projects, they do roll over and we can just adjust accordingly in the future. Is that accurate?
It's accurate to say that the $510,000 that we would allocate here is not the full amount of budget that we would have for 2024. We would have a lot of supplementation from the general fund. So short answer, we would be using all these funds. These funds that we would be allocating through the levy, we would be using.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And John, is this amount consistent with what we did last time we issued a levy? I mean, last several times, right?
Thank you. Yeah, I should mention that too, that through the history of HEDRA, we have always had this levy amount. So this is consistent with our past practice.
Anybody else got a question? If not, I'll stand for a motion to approve the proposed 2024 HRA tax levy.
A motion to approve?
Motion by Commissioner Johnson. Second by Commissioner Fox. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay. Thank you. Item B on our agenda tonight is the Resolution 2023-13 Facade Improvement Program Grant for 214 and 216 2nd Street East.
Alrighty.
Alex?
Thank you, Madam President, Commissioners. So, as you said, this is we received a facade improvement program grant application for the owners of 214 and 216 2nd Street East. Thomas and Vicky Young own the properties. This is where Quaint and Quirky and the new, I think it's called Affogato coffee shop and a furniture retailer are going to be going there. They are looking to paint the building and do some minor brickwork, just replacing some bottom row brick and removing an old sign that's on the building that's just painted over. And so relatively small and straightforward project. The total amount is under $3,000. So what we are looking for is a motion to approve for a facade improvement program grant totaling for the amount of $889.15.
Anybody have a question for Alex? I'll just have my comment. You know, these are small dollar amounts, but I think the impact is big. I mean, I think anytime you go and you see a newly fresh painted building and a new marquee or whatever it is, for me, that's huge. So, Commissioner Fox?
Thank you, Your Honor. I would like to take the moment to thank the building owner for investing in their property as well. I think that means the world to our downtown and our tourist capital in Hastings. So I would make a motion to approve this resolution.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Fox. Do we have a second? Second by Commissioner Carter. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, that motion carries. I think that was it for our business part of our agenda. Or do we have something else, John? I'm looking down here.
Looking at development updates right now, the big one is the Confluence is soft open for business right now. As far as I'm concerned, from a building standpoint, we issued a certificate of occupancy about a week and a half ago, so they're free to go about their business here. And they've had some activity down there, which is great. I'm looking forward to the time. Then we all can go over there after a meeting. I checked yesterday to see if that would be possible for tonight, but didn't appear to be so. So in the near future, we will do that. So that's all great news there. Other activities going on. Augustine property, which is about 200 acres west of the city on Highway 55 between the substation and 15th Street. We're going through a utility analysis on that property as we speak for potential annexation. It's a situation of how we would serve the utilities there. We had anticipated one way, we're looking at doing it another way. What this means in the future is there's some interest in annexation for residential construction, maybe commercial construction along that corridor. Don't have a time frame for when that might come in, but there seems to be some eagerness among the ownership group, which is great news there. Along with that, the other area of annexation in the south end of town, they're calling Walden at Hastings, which is 316 in Michael. The traffic study has been completed on that one. That's a requirement that we had and a requirement of our environmental assessment. So that's going through review at MnDOT and through our staff. We also will have the rest of the environmental review worksheet to us within the next couple of weeks. There's some various review that we do with that, and then we'll bring that forward to council this fall. They also wanted to get the land use applications in for a first phase of development by the end of the year as well. So things keep moving on that. I haven't seen any major changes from what we saw on the concept plan, which is 460 plus units of mixed residential housing. So that continues on. South Oaks of Hastings 4th Edition, we did have a little bit of a delay on that one. That's going back to Planning Commission, I think, at the end of the month here into council in early October. That's for the 35 units down on the south end of town. The apartment projects that we have are moving along. Current 33, they have dug ground on their second building. So they're finishing up the first building now. That should be open this fall or winter, and they've already begun construction of the second building. That'll be about 211 units altogether there. The apartment project downtown continues to move along. They're anticipating the same schedule, fall, early winter opening up for that facility. I've had a couple of communications with Vermilion Acres, which is the senior housing development on County Road 47, in which there has been limited activity over the last couple of months. Trading phone calls with the modular developer on that one to get some determinations on schedule. They've told me that they're looking at trying to put something out this fall. I've had schedules come forward in the past that have not panned out. We're trying to look at it from an inspection standpoint. When you're putting modulars up, the load on our building inspectors is quite high, so we have to kind of know that from an inspection standpoint. So we'll know more on that one. Therapy ops actually might be open right now. At that, they were looking to be open up in early September, and I talked to the owner there a couple of weeks ago, and they're that close, which is great. And then KFC continues to move along as well. So I think that's most of what I've got for development updates, unless anyone else has any questions.
Questions?
John?
Yeah.
Thorwood, I see he's busy there. Do you think that he's gotten far enough before winter comes? I guess that's my question. I walk by there and it's like,
It's a good question. He's been issued his building permit on it, told us that he wants to secure the site, cover the site up so there's no more winter damage before the season ends. Now, being September, is that a realistic goal? I don't know at this point. Depends on how quick he can work on it. So that's what I know at this point.
he was there by himself today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions?
Nope.
I just can't wait for the day where Confluence is just out in the world and we don't have it on our little development updates. I mean, that'll be a major mark.
It will be. Yeah, that'll be nice not to have that anymore on there.
Any other business by anybody not on our agenda tonight? Okay, that's it. I'll stand for a motion to adjourn. A motion by Commissioner Goldbush. We have a second? Second by Commissioner Fox. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign? Okay.